Okay, you are here for the Gradebook features lunch bites today. I'm going to go over a couple of different things that have to do with the gradebook or putting grades in the gradebook or just setting up your gradebook in general. The first thing that I wanted to cover, that I covered in a couple of different sessions as well, is just the fact that you don't put grades in for your students in the gradebook. You grade all of the assignments in the coursework page. And so that is where you're going to input grades. The grade book is just the place that houses your grades, and it will do any weighting that you need, or you can change your grade ranges. That is what we use the grade book for. So coursework, I'm going to go over just basic real quick, just a reminder. Coursework is where we put grades in. There's a couple of different ways to do that. So if you go to your coursework page and then you go to an assignment that you want to grade, I'm going to go to this Panther emailing your instructor assignment. And this is where you can come in and have different ways of grading. You have edit all grades at once. When you click on that, it will let you go through and just type in those grades all at one time for those students. You can enter a default grade. This is where I use, if I've put in all the scores that are not zeros, I use it for an opposite reason. You can use it for like putting in, all of your scores except for 100%. And when you choose default grade, you can say everyone else that's left without a score gets this grade. So everyone, for my instance, I've got everyone's grades in except everyone that has zeros, I put a 0 in this box, and then it populates a 0 for the rest of the people that don't have grades. So same thing, if you have all of the grades in except for 100%, then you can say everyone that doesn't have a grade yet gets a 100, and that's what the default grade is here. Okay, pretty self-explanatory with fill empty grades. Then obviously back on, I'm going to go ahead and cancel out of this. On this home page of your assignment, you can go individually and click the green check mark for 100%. The partial check mark brings up a box and it allows you to put in how many out of whatever your assignment is worth. And then you have the X, which gives you 0 out of however many points it's worth. You can do that all right here, but it does take a little bit of time to reload once you click on the green check mark or even the partial. Sometimes it takes a little bit to reset back to this page. And so if you have a long list of students, it might take a little bit of time. Mine's moving kind of fast right now, so that's kind of nice, but I usually prefer to do edit all grades or enter a default grade. Another way I like to look at students' grades is by going to their name. This shows the assignment grade, but then their name is also right here under the name of the assignment, and it says by then that student's name. If you click on that, it takes you to their scores for the entire course and all of their assignments. And you can edit those scores here as well. So obviously any of the assignments that are not open, you can't edit those scores, but anything that has already been graded or is left to be graded can be edited on this page. I like to do this whenever a student comes in and they're like, hey, I submitted 2 more assignments, here they are, and I can go in just on this page and edit their 2 assignments in one spot. I don't have to go to the assignment for each assignment to update this one student's grade. Just another view, you don't have the enter all grades option here or the default grade option. So you do have to use these buttons to update on this page, but I just think it's convenient to be able to do it all in one place. So that's another view. It's kind of confusing because this view right here can get confused with the view from the actual gradebook. So you go to the gradebook and you click on your student's name. It brings you a list of all of their assignments and their grades, but this is not a place where you can edit. So again, this goes back to in the gradebook, we don't edit, we just view. And in coursework, we can edit and add grades. Okay. I'm not going to lie, when I initially started using my Neosho, I was very confused on why I had one page that I could edit and one page I couldn't. And I just had to remember anything from the gradebook page is just flat. We do not edit there. Okay, any questions on that? Okay. So going back into the gradebook for the whole class, this is what everybody sees as an instructor. Just by clicking on gradebook, you're going to see your students that are in the class. You can click on it just like I did, and it will take you to the page to show the students' grades. For each assignment, you've got the overview right here. This is showing you how the final grade, however you have it set up, either points, weighting, however you have it set up, that's going to show the final grade for your class, for your students. Now, default grade weighting, I believe, is set to points. So when a brand new section is created, any assignment that you bring in is set to show as weighted on points. You can see that by going to final grade weighting. And right when you click in, you can see your current weighting method is the point method. It'll show all of your assignments as long as it says in your assignment settings, include in final grade or in gradebook. That assignment will show in this list. You can see the points that that assignment is worth and then how it is weighted for the course. Now, this is weighted on points. So if you change the amount of points this assignment is worth, obviously it's going to be weighted more in the gradebook. Okay. To change that, if you do not want to have it graded on the point method, you go over here to the change weighting method. It's all the way on the right side. I don't know why it's hanging out way over there by itself. But it is. It's on its own little island. So if you click on that, it brings you to all of your options. So we're going to kind of go through these different options. To be honest with you, I've only ever taught with the point system just because that's easiest for my brain. Therefore, I may not have the best advice for the weighted side. I am more than happy to accept any kind of insight from anyone that uses the different weighting options. First things first, let's look at unit method. So if I click on it, then it changes it to where my class is now being weighted on units. And then if I go over here to this button that takes me back, again, out on its own little island, it takes me back to that view that it shows me how it is weighted. Okay. So here it says that this unit is worth 50% and this unit is worth 50%, equaling 100% for the whole class. I should be able to change. Oops, hold on one second. I went to the wrong page. Why is it not letting me do this? Okay. Oops, sorry, I have people coming joining the meeting. It's not letting me choose the option to change the weights. I should be able to automatically weight it equally. Oh, okay. I can't change it in the units part. So if you have 4 units, it's going to be 25% per unit. Because using this option, units are automatically weighted equally to calculate the final grade. Okay, but you still have the option to drop students' lowest scores. You can choose up to 5 of those if you want. And you can drop scores on a unit by unit basis from the unit details screen accessed by clicking on the unit name of this. Okay, so if you click on My Neosho Orientation for Student, you can drop whichever scores you're wanting to drop for those students. Whoops, I keep clicking out of where I want to be. So weight grading by unit. Let's think about if you have like unit 1 for your course through unit 4, this, and you just want to weight them all equally across the board, you're going to want to use unit weighting as your option. If you want to use type weighting, where it's your quizzes are worth a heavier weight than your assignments, you want to go to the next option on the list, which is type method. This allows you to have a little more flexibility with how you're weighting your assignments. Let's see if it's going to let me go in there. Remember, go back over to this island. I have to remind myself to go back to the island. And this is where it allows you to weight your types. So your types are, I'm going to go back to the coursework page just so we can maybe add another type, because it looks like I only have assignment type or one type listed on my assignments. So I'm going to go into assignment. Let's see, let's do this one. Nope, it's not open. We're going to add another type. So that way we have different types of assignments to weight. Let's do this one. I'm going to change this type under the assignment. It's right here. So we've got units and then we have type. There's default types. Right now, this assignment is tied to the assignment type. I'm going to go ahead and add it to the quiz type. This has nothing to do with the way the format of the assignment. So me choosing quiz under the type section does not change the format of the assignment to a quiz. It's just saying that's the type of assignment it is. Okay, click save. And then I'm going to do it to one more assignment. So we can have 3 types. You can also add types. So let's say that you don't have the generic types of assignments and you want to have a CSIS lab. So like one of my computer labs needs to be its own type. I can go in and I can add a type under the units and types section on the coursework page, and then it will be included in that drop-down list that you saw when I changed the type in this assignment. And of course, this is going to take a while because I'm in a course that has a bunch of students from using it as an NC 105 class. So it's going to take a couple of minutes. I'll go back over here. So you can also, I guess I kind of forgot, I'm not going to click on anything just because I don't want it to mess up what's loading here. But if you want to add a different type, oh, there it went finally. If you want to add a different type, you can add that right there on the assignment. So you don't have to go to the coursework page to add a new type. But if you want to, that's right here under Manage Units and Types. So you can go in and you can change or edit or add whatever types of assignments you want. You can also remove any of the ones that you may not need. So that way you don't have a bunch of different options in your dropdown. But I'm using quiz right now, and I think I'm going to use paper, but I want to change this to CSIS paper. Okay. And now you can see it shows as CSIS paper. I'm going to go back to coursework. I come to an assignment down here, and I'm going to change participation and put it in a different, I'm going to put it in that CSIS paper type. Click save. So while this is saving, we've now on the first page, you can see that we had only one type here to weight. I've added 2 assignments to different types, so that way we can see 3 types to weight. So once this gets done loading, I'll refresh this page and it will have 3 different types, because now I will have 3 types with assignments in them. Again, I don't use grade weighting this way. I go by points. So this is a little bit different than what I'm used to doing. And I know that there is a wide range of variety of different ways to do grade weighting. So if you do something similar to this and you want to have some input, please feel free to jump on. While I'm waiting, do any of you use grade weighting besides points?
We do in the OTA program.
Okay,
It's not my favorite, but Peggy really feels it's extremely important for us to emphasize our tests because ultimately we're preparing them to take a certification exam at
true.
the end. So they need to understand that they've got to really study and prepare for the exam piece of it.
Yeah.
And that's one of our tools to do that. So in every course that they take through our program, the exams are weighted heavier. Unit exams and midterms and finals are all weighted heavier, but I don't know that they're exactly the same in every
Okay.
course. They're definitely heavier.
And are you weighting them in this type? Are you using the type weighting?
Yes.
Okay.
What I don't know is I've had a couple of students be like, because I can't figure out how the math works if I've got 100 point, say midterm assessment, but I've also got a couple of 3 or 4 assignments that maybe total 100 points. How to help them understand how to calculate that and how it actually is grading correctly in
Mm-hmm.
your grade. And it would be nice to have a simple explanation for that. But I'm just like, my response is usually pretty generic. It is weighted and graded correctly, and remember that this is heavier. And then I'm just like I'm done with it at that point.
Yeah. Yeah, I am the same exact way. That's where I get hung up. I don't know how to explain it to you, is what I like. So I prefer to do points because then I can make an exam worth 300 points and they can see that it was worth 300 points, but yet my assignments are only worth 25 points or something like that. So I'm doing all of these assignments and they're only worth 25 points. I can calculate that on my calculator and then know that my exam is worth 300 points. That's how I weight it, just because I'm a numbers person in that sense. I'd rather visually see the importance of it. But different people, different ways of doing things. So we can now see all three of our types and we can weight it. If we don't weight it, it yells at us. So it will not calculate anything in your grade book final grade section because it's not sure what it's supposed to be calculating. So you definitely need to make sure that you go in here and change the weighting. So you can tell right here we've got a little notification, one or more of your types does not have a weight. Well, all of them don't. So let's see what I need to put. I don't know how I should have done an even number. This is gonna be fun.
Hey
So
Maggie,
34.
your
Yeah.
mic went a little soft there.
So I'm ordering a new microphone camera today. I hope I can make it through this session. Can you hear me still? Or is it too soft?
We can still hear you, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I had a complaint about that the other day too, and I'm like, so we're working on it. We're working on it. But all right, so I've got these weighted perfectly evenly, or I can do 50, 25, 25. Whatever you want to do. So right now I'm saying, actually, I want to change this. And you see down here, it kind of yells at you if you have too many points or it doesn't add up correctly. I really appreciate the math down there, so I don't have to worry about it. And then it gives me the go ahead once I have the 100%. I also have this option again to drop one of the lowest scores out of all assignments if I would like to choose that. Okay, I'm going to click save on that and it will reset. I believe I should be able to click into the type and see the assignments. Okay. Here are all the different assignments in that first type. That's worth 25% of final grade. Looks like if I want to handle these differently, I can make an exception here. Let's see. Nope, that's just changing the weighting. I want to know. It's all under custom. So are you doing custom or type? D, do you know?
I am 100% sure we're doing it by type.
Type. Okay, so your assignments are all based on equally which type they're under. Okay. I just wanted to make sure that I was talking about the right thing. This course is really slow today. Sorry about that. Okay, so you can break down where under the unit section, it's each unit equally. Under the types, you can break down which types are weighted which way. So if you want your exams to be, heavier, you're gonna weight those types that way. And then your assignments, labs, whatever you want to do are weighted less. This is where you would do that. Go back to change weighting method, and you've got, I'm going to skip manual first and go to custom. And then I'm going to click into assignment. It's still not letting me do what I'm wanting to do here. I should be able to adjust per assignment. Okay, so this one is going to be on a more advanced breakout session that I'll have in a snack bites section, because I don't want to miss out on doing the grade ranges. But you should be able to build out your own custom weighting. And again, I just want to remind everyone, the more custom you get, the more confusing it is to your students. So I would stay away from that unless you're prepared to explain to your students exactly how they're getting their grades. Because if you continue to weight things on weighted things, so if your assignments are weighted plus your type is weighted, that's going to confuse them. So I would most definitely make sure, if you're going to customize your grade book that detailed, that you have a way to explain to them why they're getting the grade that they're getting. Dee, did you have something?
Oh, no, sorry.
Okay, I just saw you were unmuted, so I just want to make sure. So I'm going to leave this one as a more advanced setting, so we can dive into it a little deeper, and that way people that use it can come to that session. I'm going to go back up here to manual. This one, let me go back to the gradebook homepage. This one, this page is the only page that you can manually update on the gradebook. And that is with the manual final grade option. So therefore, the assignments are not being weighted in any way or calculated in any way in the final grade. This is you inputting this grade for your students on the gradebook side. So you would go through and you would add the grades in this way. I say stay away from this because you do not have any kind of tie to the content that you've been giving your students. So there's no tie to the coursework whenever you use this option. So I kind of wish we could remove it, but I have to talk about it. So that is how that works. I'm going to go back to the final grade weighting option and change it back to points, because that's the way I use mine. It's a little slow. Okay. And then if I click on back to final grade weighting screen, it'll show my assignments and the points. And how it is weighted by points. Okay. I'm gonna go back to the home. I pushed on this home screen button here. This goes back to the gradebook home page, which is what you see whenever you click on gradebook. And this is where we see our students' final grades. So if I wanted to grade on a different scale or range, or I wanted to adjust the way it shows. Does anyone have a different grade range than our normal 80, 90, 70? Okay, a couple of you. Will one of you unmute and tell me what your range is?
Our C stops at 75%.
Okay, so 75 to 79.
Well, 79.5 is usually what I do it as. 74.5 to 79.5.
Okay,
And
and
then,
then normal after that, or
Yep.
okay, and then after 75 or below that is an F.
yes.
So you take away the D option totally.
Actually, we leave the D there. The students they just know that they don't qualify to take state testing if they don't get a C or above, is what the syllabus says.
Okay. So do you change your grade range here on my Neoshow so they can see
Yes.
that? Okay.
Yeah.
Do you guys change your grade range, D?
Yeah, ours is 91 and above is an A, 83 to 90 is a B, 76 to 80, well, 82.9, is a C.
Yeah.
Anything below that, 76% is an F.
Okay. Okay.
And that's how it shows on our.
And it's reflected on my Neoshow. Okay. So this button right here, letter grade ranges, this is where we go. The default is just the basic 60, 70, 80, 90, and there's no rounding or anything like that. And so it shows you here A is 90 to 100, B is 80 right up to that 89.99, and so on. You do have other options here underneath. So I like the rounding option. So if you click on the A, B, C, D, F with rounding, it shows you that, because in my class, which is not a field that I'm concerned about them, saving someone's life or detecting something or helping someone in a way, mine is just technology. So if you get an 89.5 or an 89.5, I want to give you that A. Like, I'm prepared to bump you up. So it's a lot easier for me to show this in my grade range, just doing this here. So I choose this option that says, okay, starting at 89.5, it's an A, it rounds it up. Starting at 89 or 79.5, it's a B. And so it does it the whole way through. You do, however, I believe in this like this default for rounding, have to get a 60. I would probably go in here and edit that to go ahead and do the 59.5, because to me, if I'm doing it everywhere else, I should probably, oh, it didn't save it. It helps if you push save. So I'm changing it to 59.5, and then I'm going to click add. And so then it changed it. You can see it automatically changed the F to be through 59.49. And then it changed my 59.5 here. So my students that are just on the brink of failing can get that right up to 59.5 and get that D. Okay. If you would like to have, if you want to remove, you just click on whichever range you're wanting to remove and click on delete, and it removes it. So for instance, D and her department only has, or her program only has A, B, C, and then it's F. So no D on there. So they removed this D option. And so it goes, well, it defaulted on mine because it took away that and showed the F stopping at 69.49. If you want to edit that, you can obviously go in and change it to whatever it needs to be for your program or department. You also have pass fail option. I use this for a 1 credit class that is pass fail. It's really nice. So throughout the course, I'm putting in grades for them and everything, but as long as I do, passing is 75% in my class, and that's in my syllabus and everything. So as long as their scores add up to 75%, it automatically shows a P for passing in that grade book section for them. And I don't have to worry about changing it or editing it for them. So this is a really nice tool. I believe a lot of people don't know about this area, and so whenever they go in to put final grades in, they're having to calculate the rounding. So if they're wanting to round up, they're having to show that, okay, well, this student got an 89.5, so I've got to change it from a B to an A when I go to the final grades page. So this would take that away from you, not having to add that extra legwork. It's nice to know that we have programs that are already using the grade ranges, because it's easier for the students to see what their grades are if you have it set up properly with the grade ranges. Any questions on the grade ranges? Okay. Great. Oops, I thought I canceled out of that. I guess I'm gonna have to cancel out of each of these. I'm just gonna click on the home. See, here we are again. I guess it's a main screen, but I call it the home screen because it literally has a little picture of a home. So it's gonna go back to this home page. Now, at this time, Gensbar eLearning does not, which is our MyNeo show, does not have the capability to export a spreadsheet, add information into your assignments, and then import it back in. We don't have that functionality. We do have the export functionality we can do from viewing the full gradebook. So if you click on full gradebook, you can see a little snippet here, and you can click through, or you can say view everything at once, and then you can scroll through, or you can do the export to Excel. If you export to Excel, did it give it to me? There it is. Maybe it'll show up. It's a little slow. So don't know why it's not, it froze on me. Let me see if I can open it again. No. Okay. Maybe I rushed it. Oh no, my whole computer is freezing on me. So it'll show all of your assignments and any of the grades that you have already put in for those assignments. So they will all show up here as well as the final column. It will also show all the assignments that don't have grades. So you'll have empty columns. And this is why a lot of people get confused and they think that they should be able to put those scores in and then upload it back into the gradebook. We're not there yet. We do have a tip into Gensbar to ask them to do that because there's a lot of positive things to that. So be looking for that in the future. Let me try and figure out how to get this all closed up because I'm frozen. Hold on 1 second. Close this. Now I'm back. Okay. I don't know why I didn't want to open that, but I have a feeling it's because my computer has not been turned off in a while. I forgot to turn it off before I went on Thanksgiving break. So, like I said, the Excel spreadsheet will open. I'm going to try it one more time just to see if it'll open since I hard closed it. It'll open up with the assignment types across the top. There we go. This is what I'm looking for. Okay, so you've got your final grade, and it's really nice that it's in green, easy to see. It lists your withdrawn students below your current students. So I said I had a bunch of students here that were added from NC 105. And then if you scroll over, you can see the assignments with grades. And then you can still see all of the assignments that need grades. Just an extra document for you if you would like to have an Excel spreadsheet of your grades. Some people like to do it at the end of the semester, so they have an actual file of those grades for that semester.
In the past, we've had some high schools that wanted it also to where they have proof of the grade also.
Oh, okay.
And in the past, I've had that, not in the last year or so, but
Yeah. Yeah, it's an easy thing to be able to send on. Just make sure if you're sending it via email, you're doing it in the proper ways. Okay. So this is just the way to view your grade book. It looks like you can also view, you can choose whether or not you want to view your guest students or withdrawn students. That's a new piece. That's kind of nice. So if you have a student that decided to withdraw from the class, but you need to see what they had before they were actually fully withdrawn, you can show that student and then you can see their score even though they're not in your course anymore. So that's kind of handy. Okay. Going back to the main page, the home page of the gradebook. We will talk about one more thing, and that is evaluations. So attendance, this is obviously going to be more for face-to-face classes or hybrid classes, where attendance can be included as a participation score. So right now, if I click on the pencil, I can say how many points it's worth. I can have a little write-up in here letting students know, like, well, how are you considered attending a class? Because with my face-to-face class, if you're late, there is a tardy. I tag you as tardy. If you do not contact me before the start of class, it's an unexcused absence. And then you have, if you do contact me before the start of class, it's excused. And I do use the left early option. All of the options that are on the attendance page, I explain to my students, I do use those. And this is why, because I like to come in and have points for participation on their attendance. So if a student leaves early 10 times, it's going to completely take away the credit for that, for the attendance. So yes. Students in this course will have a session marked as no credit once for every time that they miss 10 times. Attendance grade, I'm sorry, this is the attendance grade failure. So you will get 0 out of 100 points if the student has been marked unexcused absent 5 total sessions. So I don't have to worry about putting this grade in if once I select on my attendance page their 5th unexcused assignment or unexcused absence, it gives them a 0 for the attendance grade. So it's nothing that I have to keep up with. It's just generated by these settings here, and I can change it to whatever I would like. And this is also where I can choose the tardy and the left early. So 10 times for tardy, 10 times for left early. That's being pretty nice. And then you have course failure. So after 10 unexcused absences, you just fail the course. So that's not fun. But it's kind of nice to be able to have that option. Okay. Click on save. And all of that can be discussed in this right here, letting them know all of those just different options so they know that it's what's coming with those different options. If you click on the name attendance, it takes you to a page where it shows you how your students are doing with attendance. So however many times you have class or however many times you have sessions that are recorded, it will show. So let's say we have a class, we have a 16-week class and we meet twice a week. We should have 32 right here. And it will show you how many times the students are counted as present. So let's say you've gone 8 weeks, and so you would have 16 options for them to be counted as present. It would show 16 out of 16 here. So it only changes this number for however many times you've had attendance options. So you wouldn't see the 32 until the very last day. And this grade over here adjusts by that. I guess I should change that to show attendance to the final grade. So I clicked on the little button right now. Oh, I didn't realize that it was saying that. So originally mine was set up to not be included in the final grade. But on this page where you can see all of your students' scores, you can choose add attendance to the final grade. And then you can see that changed, and now you can see attendance is included in the final grade, but it's easily removed if you don't want it to be. So the default is obviously set to not be included. Go back to the home page for the gradebook. And now we should see, if I click on Cheesy Mouse, all of Cheesy's scores, and then down here is the attendance score. Okay. Again, that's used more for face-to-face. And for me, I am very, I like to have my students in class, so I'm very strict with attendance. So it's an easy visual for my students to see throughout the semester. Okay, so I've made it to the 40 minutes that I was hoping to make this session. Like I said, I want to go over the manual weighting option in a more advanced setting. So if you are a person that would be interested in using, not manual, I use the wrong word, custom weighting, we will be doing that in a lunch or a snack bite. So I will go over how to do custom weighting probably next semester, because we're at the end here, and a few other more advanced quiz options and stuff like that in a snack bite session. So does anybody have any questions or anything that you would like me to look at right now in the next 5 minutes to go over for this gradebook session? Nothing?
How does extra credit work?
Okay, good question. It's not how we want it to work. I have to always tell everyone, don't use the extra credit option on the assignments, because it hurts students that don't use it or get it. So if an assignment is 10 points plus a 1 credit extra credit, it's going to be 10 out of 11 instead of 11 out of 11 for everyone, or 11 out of 10. And same thing with the quiz options as well. Like some of the quiz questions, you can say this is extra credit, and it's, if you don't do it, it does count against you and it doesn't weight it properly. And so if you want to do extra credit, I highly suggest just giving your students more points than what the assignment is worth. So if you have an assignment that's worth 10 points and they completed the extra credit piece, then you can give them 11 out of 10 instead of trying to tell my Neosho that it's an extra credit assignment. So you're just kind of tricking that column by saying this student got 11 out of 10 instead of telling the assignment it's worth 11, because they know it. Jinzabar knows that it doesn't work the way we want it to. So they're working on it. I think the people that made that feature are not educators and don't understand how extra credit works. So That would be my assumption. Sorry.
No, you're good. I was just curious.
Yeah, it doesn't. The extra credit feature doesn't work. That's how it works. So, any other questions? If not, we'll go ahead and close out of here. These recordings, I put them up on the YouTube channel, and I also, so there's a link under the instructional support page, and you can find these recordings there. I still need to upload a couple of the recordings from the week before I was at my conference, but this one and those will be uploaded today or tomorrow. So check them out there if you need to rewatch or refer back. Otherwise, I look forward to seeing you guys at a future lunch bite or snack bite, and thank you so much for coming today.
Quick question, where is it at again? They're,
Instructional support. And then, here, I'll just go to it. So my teaching,
okay,
instructional support, and then it's over here under the lunch bites playlist. You find it?
let me see if I can find it. Instructional support. Oh, yep.
Perfect. All right, anything else? Okay, well, I will see you guys soon. Thank you.